Okay, hey guys, it's Stephanie, and I'm making another update video on my life because honestly, I do these more for myself than for anyone else, so I can look back and kind of see what the Lord's been doing in my life and in my heart, and I guess just kind of keep track of the ways He's grown me. So hopefully, though, along the way, it encourages someone. But, anyways, so I have been in California for over 4 weeks now, again. So it's funny because California is not a place I ever thought I would spend any amount of time. But I've been here for over a year, basically, so that's cool. I guess it's kind of a special place to me now, but we'll see if I have to stay here longer. I know it's not my favorite place in the world, but I guess it has its plus sides to it. But anyways, so getting on to the main points of this video, God's done a lot in my heart. I'm not gonna lie, the first couple weeks especially that I was here were very hard on me, just in a lot of different random ways. Just basically everything that could go wrong was going wrong, and I wasn't getting my way on a lot of things, and I'm a human, so I get selfish, and that stirs up a lot of stuff inside me. But for the most part, the Lord's brought me through it all. He's faithful, and He has a plan, and He has a purpose for everything. So it's been cool to just see that, and honestly, it's been cool for me. I felt like the time of my life that was going to grow me the most was Bible college, and it was, of course, a major time of growth for me in a lot of different ways, but it's very cool for me to be able to look back over my summer at home and see the ways the Lord grew me there, and then to be here where He's feels like He's grown me the most here out of all the places I've been, which is not something I was expecting. But yeah, so the Lord can use any situation, any place I'm at, and I mean, it's God, of course, I knew that, but it's neat to experience it. And yeah, basically, this has been, I guess, a good introduction into what the life of ministry, I guess, would be like. Honestly, the more that I learn about following the Lord, the people that I know who do follow the Lord are just so much more impressive to me. Like pastors and people like that, oh, I just commend them. You guys are incredible. Like dealing with people is difficult sometimes, and knowing that you guys deal with that on a daily basis, like it's it's a cool thing. But yeah, I've been in this new phase of life. God, over the past couple years, basically, I guess, broke me down, kind of got rid of who I thought I was, and a lot of the pride that I had, and a lot of the things that I thought were so cool. He just basically brought me to like this really, not like a bad low point, but like a good low. Like I needed to get here where I was like, Stephanie, you're not that cool. You need to just get over yourself. And so I'm kind of over myself now, and so that's a good place to be. But then he's also started over the past few months just kind of building me up again, I guess, or I guess forming me more into who he wants me to be. So kind of getting rid of like all the things where I was dead set on being this kind of a person, and he's kind of, I feel like he's now just kind of building me up and getting me to refocus on certain things, on what things are important. There's a good sermon I went to today. I got to go to the Mosaic Church, which was an awesome experience. Pastor, I think Irwin was the one speaking, and it was just a really good sermon that was all about, I feel like it kind of broke it down to the basics. He was talking about how we need to be known by our love, how we need to like live by faith and proclaim hope was basically how it broke down. And I loved it because the Lord's grown a lot in my faith and my hope and my love over the past few months. And I didn't really realize it until he was talking this morning about it. And just realizing, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And that verse, it just kind of summarizes everything. And I never thought about it that way, I guess. But the Lord has been growing my faith. He's been showing me that it takes exercising it. It takes stepping out and doing those things outside of my comfort zone in order for the Lord to have room to work and to show that He's faithful, to show that He will provide, to show that that He is faithful. Like I have to, I guess, put myself out there more. But every time I do, He comes through. So He's been growing my faith in that way, and I guess just making me realize what my faith is founded in and all that good stuff. And then also bringing it back to loving people. And I've never really struggled with loving people before, but just over the past year, He's just put more people in my life that I guess aren't like me, so to speak. Not like that's, I mean, normally I can love people that aren't like me anyways, but I guess people that are more challenging to love and kind of testing my, I guess, consistency in love, and how far were you willing to go, and are you willing to literally like walk with someone through something, and just different things like that, where you think about the sermon this morning was really cool. Back to it, he was talking about people who say, man, I love God, but I just don't like the church, and how, well, you're saying you don't like people because the church isn't an establishment, it's people. So you're saying you don't love people, which is what we're called to do. And kind of made me reevaluate like the way I view people, and do I always love people, and how do I love people? Like, how do we love people? And just kind of that sacrificial lowering of myself, being selfless, giving all that I have for the Lord and for others is something that I've been thinking about, I guess. And not just loving people when it's easy. Yeah, all that stuff that comes along with love. And then the thought of the Lord loves me so much. How can I not pass that love on to other people? So that's what he's kind of showing me. And then hope is the last one that I guess over the past few months, I never really understood hope until lately, and what that means, and just the purpose that we have in Christ, and knowing where we're headed. It's just an amazing thing to me to be able to understand. And then all of that, I guess, kind of is wrapped up in grace. I know that I talked about this a lot my first semester, how the Lord was revealing grace to me and what it meant, and I'd never really understood it before, but I thought I understood it then, and literally every month, every few weeks, sometimes every day, I just get to understand what grace is even more and more. And the more I understand grace, the more it just humbles me, the more it makes me want to love other people. And I don't know, like, of course I was raised with grace, but just I guess being raised the way I was, where I was this good girl who never really, I guess, needed it, getting to the point where, and not only do I need it, but I'm lost without it, and I'm undeserving of it, and yet it's so so lavished upon me. And it's a neat place to be. It's like a low place, like I was saying, but to be in that place where it's like, I know I need grace, but I have it. Like, oh, it's a good place to be. And then through that all, just the peace that comes with that, the peace of knowing, like, even if it's hard, I have the Lord and His strength in me working through me, and I have a lot of peace in situations where I shouldn't maybe be peaceful. I am in Southern California by myself, and it's the second time in the course of a year that I was on a plane by myself, flying to Southern California, going, what the crap am I doing with my life? How is this happening? What if I died? But I made it, and it's just a cool thing to experience, just the peace of God, knowing that I'm in His will, and yes, this is a faith-building exercise, and yes, it's not normal or easy, but it's the Lord's will, and so He's going to bring me through it because He is faithful to complete the work that He's begun in my life and in my heart. And yeah, so I can just rest in that, and I've been finding a lot more peace than I guess peace that I didn't realize I didn't have. Like, I've always been a happy person, but it's been growing me beyond just the normal. Like, society is always telling us we need to be happy, we need to be, that's what the point of life is, I guess. But it's not that. It's like the joy of the Lord, where even in tough situations, like, I can cling to that and find contentment even when I shouldn't be able to, and find that peace and that rest that is not of this world. It's something that is purely from the Lord, things that I shouldn't be able to experience, that He's blessed me with. So I'm very fortunate to have that. And then it's been really cool for me being brought to this place of, I guess, the lowest I've been. I keep using that word. There's probably a better word, but anyways, just being at this point where I'm just humbled to be the Lord's, and humbled to experience His grace, and just privileged in a way that I didn't understand before. But that's kind of brought me to this place where I felt, I guess, lost, in the sense of, crap, I always wanted to be this awesome Christian person, and now I felt like I wasn't as, I guess, powerful for the Lord, or as, I don't know, just didn't really feel like I could be used. And then to have it turn around, and I'm going to grab this and read this verse to you, but just to be able to realize that I can still be used by the Lord. And He showed me just this awesome verse in 1 Corinthians 15 that was saying, but by the grace of God I am what I am, and His grace toward me was not in vain. and I labored more abundantly than they all, yet not I, but the grace of God which was in me, which is kind of, I guess, just kind of show me that it's not, I guess, who I am, like my identity has been something, I guess, something that we all deal with, but getting to that point where it's like, okay, I am what I am purely by the grace of God alone. And like just realizing that, I've just kind of stripped away everything that I claimed as an identity before, and just being able to say it's by God's grace and let that take the preeminence in my life. It's been a powerful thing. So I don't know if any of that would relate to any of you guys, but the Lord's done a lot. Obviously, this is like all stuff that He's taught me over the past 4 weeks, and there's, honestly, I could go on every single day. There's been something He's been revealing to me, and I just felt like I should share some of it with you guys. Hopefully it encourages someone, and yeah, I covet your prayers. I'm so, so grateful for all of my people back home who have been praying for me and calling me and texting me. I've gotten so many encouraging messages from people just saying, we love you, miss you, thank you for being you, things like that, that have just made my day. And honestly, I know that, of course, I couldn't be doing this without the Lord, but also I just couldn't be, I guess, here if it weren't for my wonderful friends and family back home. And I love you guys so much. And then also my new friends, people at Bible college, super jealous of everyone going to CCPC right now. I wish I was in Marietta, but hopefully I'll swing by and see some of you at some point. That would be awesome. And then also, yeah, my new friends, the people here at Campbell, have all been so amazing and so great to be around. If it weren't for having a good group of people around me, I'd probably be like done. I'd probably just be like dead somewhere, seriously. But they've been great helping me. I haven't been as lonely that I could have been, and I've been kind of feeling trapped. Like the city's fine, but it gets old, and they've made it so much easier because they're super chill. So anyways, this is probably the longest video I've made about this, but I normally plan it out so it's a little bit more condensed, but I didn't this time. I just kind of sat down and talked. So you guys are getting the real and raw Stephanie. That was just my heart and nothing else. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully you got something out of it, or you just liked seeing my face. But otherwise, have a great night or day whenever you're watching this, and bye.